All right, but remember, content moderation is now spilling into the political arena. This as a fresh row has erupted over Meta's content moderation practices. TMC MP Mahua Moitra has urged Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg not to apologize, contradicting what Nishikant Dubey had to say. She's alleged that the Indian government pressures platforms to remove content critical of it. Meanwhile, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey has raised concerns over Meta's algorithms, saying they suppress the reach of political content while allowing unethical material to gain greater engagement. Dubey has also called for a review of the safe harbor protections granted to social media platforms under the Information Technology Act. On that note, let's also take you through what Mahua Moitra has had to say as the TMC MP took to X. She's gone on to, in fact, address it directly to Mark Zuckerberg, where she's also tagged him saying, "Hello, Mark, please do not get bullied and apologize to anyone. Indian government blackmails and threatens citizens all the time, gets content critical of it removed at will. One video mistakenly removed for few hours didn't make heavens fall." This is what Mahua Moitra had to say, in fact, categorically reaching out to Zuckerberg. To that, you also have another tweet now coming out from Nishikant Dubey, who is accusing Meta of, in fact, as far as content is concerned, which is being put out there by the government, that being camouflage. But this, remember, is, of course, a massive allegation being leveled, that to someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who's in fact being told that the Indian government is extremely authoritarian and is controlling content which is put out there on various platforms. To that, Nishikant Dubey, of course, has taken to X as well. He goes on to say that the question pertains to the country's Prime Minister. This is a matter for contemplation by all political parties. He's also tagged Meta, saying that algorithms have resulted in BJP, Samajwadi Party, Aam Aadmi Party, even the National Congress collectively reaching fewer people with media content than the engagement seen on unethical content targeting children and women, which constitutes a heinous crime under Indian law. There is a need to amend the safe harbor protection granted to these social media platforms under the IT Act of 2000, which was originally introduced solely for the internet. Now, this is, remember, a very crucial and critical aspect that's being highlighted, which means that Nishikant Dubey is also now calling for Meta to be removed under the IT Act and take away all of those freedoms that it has been granted. On that note, let's quickly go across to Sabya, who's been continuing to track that story for us. So, Sabya, we've seen this kind of, political battle of narratives now come into the international arena, given that you have Mark Zuckerberg also being pulled into this conflict. But the fact is that Meta for long has been accused of harboring a bias towards right-wing governments.
Well, that's right. See, this is not the first time that Meta has been accused of it. In fact, in the past also, several complaints have been raised with Meta. In fact, yesterday at the Parliamentary Standing Committee meeting, the chairperson of it, Mr. Nishikant Dubey, had put across pointed questions to Meta. In fact, he also said that how Meta time and again have failed to act effectively against its algorithm or content moderation, and time and again promoting child sexual abuse as well as content against women, which is extremely inappropriate in its platform, despite the strong legal framework of the IT rules. Now, Nishikant Dubey also pointed out that under these circumstances, the CEO Mark Zuckerberg has to apologize. If he does not do it, then the Indian government will withdraw the protection harbor that comes under the IT rules, because the government is extremely serious, because we are not talking about any individual or member of parliament. We are talking about Prime Minister of India, whose post was briefly blocked in Facebook. And though Meta have said that it happened because of technical error and they apologized, but the government said that apology would not fix anything. They need accountability from the Meta, and they have also demanded that legal action would be taken against people who are responsible for removing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's post. Now, this has been escalating with the opposition now targeting the central government, saying that time and again the central government have been pressurizing Meta and other IT platforms because of the fact if you post against the central government, then immediately takedown notice comes from the IT ministry, is what the opposition have been saying.
Absolutely. This especially when Meta has its own stakes in India, given that it's one of the largest markets that it's catering to. Stay with me, Sabyasachi. We're getting